Could we turn now to this beautiful, beautiful park?
Absolutely.
When you talk to somebody from Illinois or Michigan or wherever, and they ask you, what's that park like? What do you tell them?
To me, this park has a lot of attractions to it. One, back to the beginning, it was built by the CCC, which is something that has always been very dear to me since my days at Aiken. And knowing that they built this park, I love to get the opportunity to inform the public that is who actually built this park. In addition to that, it is a very peaceful, serene, natural environment that we try to keep it that way as much as possible. A lot of folks love to come just for the peace and the quiet, the tranquility, and the beauty of this place is there is none to me in South Carolina that really quite measures up to what Edisto Beach State Park has to offer. From the sea turtles, the loggerhead sea turtles, which just is a huge nesting area. I think we're number one in South Carolina is for sea turtle nests, and I'm sure Andrea probably shared that information with you.
And you folks have a big program about that, don't you?
We do.
That must be a headache for you.
Actually, no. It takes a lot of work.
And resources, I imagine.
It does. There's a huge volunteer base that gets involved because we certainly don't have the staff to try to manage it. But the town of Edisto also has a lot of turtle nests, and a lot of times we work together, volunteer-wise, to try to manage them. Now we do our ranger, interpretive ranger, actually does manage that program, but it's also her responsibility or their responsibility to manage the volunteer base, to make sure that if nests need to be relocated, that it can, or that it is, and make sure no one messes with it and that sort of thing. But we offer also walks, night walks, and programs. They do a program in the evening before they actually go out and do a walk to see if they can, by chance, catch a turtle either laying eggs or the turtles actually hatching whenever they get around to that part. But it's a very popular program here on the park. But other things that I find very attractive about this park is our trail system.
Yes.
And I would say it, living at Caesar's Head State Park, we're talking about 50 miles of hiking trails. And this is a little different as far as that goes, but equally, if not more so, in a different way, as beautiful.
And if I might just interject, it's also the trails here. Everyone I've been on have been kind to elder hikers like me.
Absolutely. Well, being flat land, it is appealing to a lot of folks that really can't handle that type of hiking and nature trail. And for the most part, it is flat, and there's some boardwalks that take you across the marsh areas and along the coast at different places. And it's very educational. We have waysides along the way to explain the Indian Mound, the Beige Monument, which was added a couple of years ago. It has a lot of beauty, and you never know what animals you're going to run across along the nature trail. The birding is awesome here.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You see so many birds here. And those trails, they're not just flat, but they're so clear.
They are, and I'm glad you brought that up because I need to mention our friends group, which is called Free Space, and these folks are responsible for maintaining these on a daily basis. Without their help and support, we would not be able to maintain them to the level that we do. So they keep it clear, and when you have this kind of canopy with all the trees and debris and all this sort of thing, that's a pretty good job. So we're very pleased that these guys do, and we get tons of compliments on our nature trail. Because everyone loves it. In addition to, the surface is actually made of sand shell,
yes,
which packs down and makes it hard and easier to maneuver on, like if you're in a wheelchair or something like that.
I walked those trails pre-knee operation.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am, and had a wonderful experience. I could focus on the surroundings and the wildlife and the birds.
Yes. And one of my favorite is the little kingfisher. I don't know why, but to me that is one of my favorite birds. And whenever I go across the causeway, a lot of times there is a little kingfisher that sits on the power lines. And I'll have to say that's usually what I'm looking for.